Hi everyone, it's Professor Todd with a short video on the difference between summary and analysis. The purpose of this video is to help you improve your analysis in your discussion board posts and later in your essays, both in your exams and in the formal historical and cultural analysis essay that you'll write later on. So let's begin with summary. Most of you are probably familiar with what summarizing is. That is describing what happens in the story or novel. A summary is an overview of the plot points. So here's an example of a short summary of Fitzgerald's short story, Winter Dreams. In Fitzgerald's short story, Winter Dreams, the main character, Dexter, was able to find success as a businessman. However, he was never able to find a meaningful relationship with Judy Jones or anyone else. He chased Judy Jones for much of his youth, but his love was often unrequited. He gave up the chance to marry Irene for Judy, but she left him and married someone else. In the end of the story, Dexter is alone and unhappy, in spite of being wealthy. You can see here that this paragraph essentially just tells your reader what happened in the short story. It doesn't provide any interpretation or analysis. It is just a summary of what happened. Summary is not generally needed in your discussion board posts, exams, or essays because your audience, your instructor, that is me, and your classmates have all read the story or novel and know its plot. Additionally, your goal is to interpret the text. Summarizing the text does not provide much support for your interpretation or claims about the meaning of the text. That is, all summary does is show me that you know what happened in the story. It doesn't show me what you think the story means or provide any supporting evidence for your interpretation. So let's look at analysis. Analysis is interpreting the text's underlying meaning and explaining the significance of what happens in the text. So this differs from summary because in summary you're telling me what happened. In analysis, you are telling me the significance of what happened. So why has the author created this set of circumstances? Why does the author have the character do this thing that the character does? What is important about that? How does it help us understand the author's underlying meaning or message in the text? This is sometimes called reading between the lines, right? So here's an example of some analysis of Winter Dreams, and we'll note how that's different from the summary. In his short story, Winter Dreams, Fitzgerald uses his main character, Dexter, to show the audience how materialism will ultimately lead to unhappiness. Fitzgerald condemns the superficial misinterpretation of the American dream as the accumulation of wealth and status, showing how these pursuits will not bring fulfillment. Judy Jones is the personification of Dexter's dream to become wealthy and part of the elite upper class, as she herself is those things. His obsession with possessing her mirrors his obsession with possessions and power in general. His inability to find real love and instead only material success is Fitzgerald's way of showing that money and status are not the key factors for happiness. So you'll notice here, and again, apologies for this typo, I should say wealthy. You'll notice here is that analysis can refer to plot points, but only within the context of interpreting their deeper meaning. Analysis seeks to offer an explanation of the significance of the text and how the author is conveying a larger message in the text. Analysis provides your individual interpretation using the text as support. Analysis is what you want in your discussion board posts, exams, and essays. So you'll notice here the difference. That's the primary difference between summary and analysis. Whereas the first paragraph just told me what happened throughout the story, this paragraph is actually explaining what is Fitzgerald trying to show his audience. What is his message? He's condemning this misinterpretation of the American dream as something that is just about wealth and status. He's showing us that these pursuits will not bring fulfillment. It's offering interpretation of the characters. Judy Jones is the personification of Dexter's dream to become wealthy and part of the elite upper class. That is what she represents. So you notice that it's not just telling you what happened in Judy and Dexter's relationship, it's telling you what that character represents, what that relationship represents. His obsession with her mirrors his obsession with possessions and power. His inability to find love is Fitzgerald's way of conveying this message that money and status are not the key factors to happiness. So this is what you want more of your discussion boards and your essays to focus on, is this kind of analysis. Certainly you are still using specific examples from the text. You are certainly still referring to plot points, characters, instances of things that happened, but you are not just summarizing them, you are interpreting them, you are explaining what is significant about them, you are explaining how they help convey the author's underlying meaning. So I hope this video has helped clarify some of the difference between summary and analysis, and be on the lookout for another video coming to explain how close reading plays a part in all of this and what that looks like. But for now, let's try to focus on adding a little more analysis to your discussion boards and not worrying quite so much about that summary. Okay? Take care.